Hello everyone, this is Chris with Sticker Fab. It is 82 degrees and it's about 5 o'clock p.m. on a Saturday. I am doing some templates this weekend along with fulfilling some orders because yes, I do take a part in fulfilling your orders because we are that small of a company. However, I want to do an install video right here on the automatic shifter trim for the 2021 and up for Bronco. Like I said, 82 degrees, so it is warm in here. I'm not in direct sun because it is so warm. I don't want to do this install in the freezing cold because this vinyl will likely not stick. Adhesive takes a little bit to develop a bond, so you want to keep it in nice and warm weather for a little bit. One thing you can do if it's a little cooler in your area, you can go for a ride. Get the cabin nice and warm. Keep your vinyl inside so that is warm as well and ready for an install. This is a generally flat surface. These don't light up on your Ford Bronco, so it was really easy to overlay them and not have to worry about anything like that. If you guys are professional wrap installers, this is not that kind of material. We are getting through this installation together. We can all do it correctly, but try to not bring any extra knowledge you think you have into this installation because we're just doing little stickers. This is like when you were a kid and you had those little Tykes cars or whatever that you Power Wheels that you got over Christmas. They were gifted to you and none of the stickers were on there. We're just applying little tiny stickers onto little tiny areas. Let me go get some stuff and I'll be right back. You want to do a wet install, so you want to have that Sticker Fab installation fluid nice and handy. This is the best mix of liquid to install your vinyls. You can also use dish soap or hand soap, just a drop mixed with a cup of water. However, best results come right here with the Sticker Fab application fluid. It is a nice blend between breaking that initial tack so you can move it around, and then it dries out really well also. So if you have too soapy of a mixture, what you'll do is you'll get it on there, and then you'll realize, man, this thing's not sticking. And you have to wait and wait and wait until it dries up. If you're in a warm environment, it might dry up in 5-10 minutes, whatever. You can come back and kind of finish the install as long as you align it and then let it dry out, or you can use some light heat to do it. But with this weather, this temperature, this liquid on this vinyl, it's only going to take me a second to install this. All right, everyone, so this short little clip is added on at the beginning, but it actually occurred after this install was done. After the install was done, I thought I could push the ends into the little grooves around the corner, but I'm going to say don't do that at all because it might not go down evenly. Honestly, it looks best installed just like this. And another tip for you guys, the way I did it the second time is I basically sprayed down this whole trim bezel, and then I sprayed down the back of the vinyl and the back of my clean fingers. And then because the shifter normally is in this front position, because it should be in park when you do this, you'll have to slip it over the front and then slip it over the goat mode in the back. But that's how I recommend you do it. Once you get it over here, pretty much pull it towards the back and then get this area down first and then lay everything down forward. It's gonna be real wet, so the rest of the time, all you're gonna do is spend that time pushing out the water gently and evenly and making sure that it's not creasing or bunching up anywhere. And once it gets in that perfect alignment where everything is down, continue to massage all of that out and apply light heat like you see in the video later as needed, but just don't crease it up and make sure it's laying flat in all areas. All right, so no joke, guys, it's a little warm. I've opened up the passenger side door to let some of the air in. The other thing that I got is speed wipe. You can also use interior detailing spray. Just make sure it doesn't leave any residue. It's not Armor All or anything like that, and it doesn't have any wax in it. I also got a microfiber so we can clean this area out from off-roading, unfortunately, too long ago. I have a lot of sand inside the interior of the Bronco, so I want to get all that sand out of this area and out of anywhere that my vinyl might accidentally touch, because if it touches anything but the install area, it will pick up dirt, dust, debris from that as well. So we want to try to get that out of there. You notice I moved this trim ring because it gets really tight around here. If you can get those grooves cleaned out with like a toothbrush or something, go ahead and get those grooves cleaned out as well. I I have my vinyl here. I think we're going to give you 2 of these because initially, those who don't have any experience, I don't expect you to, might damage this by stretching it out. If you do this in direct sunlight and this gets really warm, it's going to stretch really easily. But that's another reason why we use this insulation fluid. It helps you move stuff around without stretching it. We're going to spray that down. Make sure your hands are clean. If you guys have ever installed screen protectors on a phone, you know what happens when you get stuff under it. What happens is you can see it. And of course, we're not installing this on a screen. However, you'd be able to see that sand under there in the form of little bumps. So this is all nice and wet, and that's how I like it. So we're going to wrap it around your shifter. Try to keep it straight. Then we're going to wrap this portion around your goat mode. And if you didn't notice, what I'm trying to do here is to keep our other accessories like this overlay for the goat mode. I'm trying to keep the lines matching up pretty much. So these lines really go into these lines down here. Now I'm taking my fingers and I'm making sure I can get it around that goat mode and to lay flat. For this, you have to do a wet install because it's going to touch certain locations and it's going to get stuck. So it's kind of stuck down here. I'm actually going to spray down there. I don't want it to dry out before I get this in the correct area. It's going to kind of want to get sucked in underneath that goat mode bezel. So I got to keep it outside of that ring. Okay. Let's make sure the other areas are wet. Remember, these Broncos were kind of made to be able to take on some liquid with your top off in case you got some rain or something. Now this has twisted itself. This is the first printed one that I've installed on this, well, on any Bronco actually. So I don't mind doing these videos and letting you guys see what I'm experiencing for the first time. It's kind of a realistic portrayal of what could happen to you. I could rehearse this a bunch of times and then do a perfect install and then tell you guys, well, I don't know what happened because my install went perfectly. Or I could just install it here, basically first time, and tell you how I fixed up my install. So really right now what I'm doing is just moving this around, aligning it. Without that fluid there, I would have been a goner, honestly, a long time ago. Being gentle with this vinyl, don't want to stretch it. Gonna keep it wet. Here, let's get the easy part down. The easy part's gonna be the big portions, right around there. So when you're happy with where everything is laid down, just let it dry out, then come back to it, press it down a little, or you can use some light heat, very light heat. Make sure it doesn't burn yourself. That's how low you want to keep it. If your finger was on the vinyl and you were doing the heat, you wouldn't want to go, ow, that's too hot. That's too much for the vinyl. Just get all this liquid out. All right, so this is already drying out pretty well. Gave it about 5 minutes and looking pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and accelerate this process just so I can show you what it's like to use a heat gun. We have our 300 watt heat gun. You can also use a hair dryer, just very low amounts of heat at a time. Have it hooked up to this, a little bit out of view, a Jackery battery pack. If you have the power inverter in the back of your vehicle, you can also use that as well. Just the vehicle has to be on. I think that can handle up to 300 or 400 watts. Actually 300. So this is pretty good. It's actually drawing a little less than 300 when it's on. Just light amounts of heat to go ahead and dry that off, because I did use a lot of liquid, and you do want to at least have a good bit of liquid on there so you can move this around, and you want it evenly so that all of the sticker can slide around just a little bit while you're installing it. You also don't have to get that heat right up on it. I'm just trying to dry things out. Be gentle, allow it to dry out. So this portion down here, very gentle. Don't put too much heat on it. Almost like get too much heat get on it right there. Vehicle's so dirty from leaving the top off. But that's pretty much it. Let me show you what the final product looks like. Don't let the tip of that heat gun touch anything. But here we have it. I have the GOAT mode ring overlay right there, and it flows into this automatic shifter Topo trim overlay. We may make these in different colors and designs. Just let us know if you want something that you don't see right now. As you can see, this vehicle is really decked out. I've got some right there. We had some on the dash, but then we went to this landscape design right here. Let me zoom out for a second. Look at that again. Look it over there, see what we have. The door handles, we've done little inserts in the middle that we haven't listed as of this video being released yet. So you get all that pattern up in there. You get the upper door, the grab handle, and you can get the lower right there. So we're going to continue to theme this out. I actually left two of the pieces from the dash on this side, right here, and right here. Those pieces are kind of meant to just give you an even amount on the driver's side as you would have on the passenger side. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you pick up some of our products at our website, stickerfab.com. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. And while you're at it, hit that bell notification icon for the latest and greatest things we're coming out with.